Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an exciting new unboxing video on a knife that kind of came out of nowhere for me. This is the Spyderco Kapara. I know that I took a look at the Spyderco catalog a little bit earlier this year, and I'm sure that I noticed this, but this one just got released and it has caught my eye because it has a few very interesting features, including a full flat ground blade, a compression lock, carbon fiber scales, and a wire deep carry clip. And it is made in the Taichung, Taiwan factory. This is the Kapara. This knife is brought to us by Australian knife designer and part-time knife maker, Alistair Phillips. Here you can see his logo very nicely done on the back of the blade here. This knife is based off the Redback, a custom model that Alistair makes. It features a red G10 backspacer. This knife is actually designed to be like the Redback Spyder, a common Spyder in Australia that features a red stripe on its back. So how appropriate is a knife named after a Spyder to be in the Spyderco lineup? Now it literally has a Spyder on it, so kind of a cool thing going on here. I like that a whole lot. This has some other interesting features that really brought my attention to it, including phosphor bronze washers and these ergonomics. So I really wanted to get my hands on this. I'm happy I can make a video for you guys. Let me go ahead and show you what comes in the box. You get Spyderco's usual very good insert material with their warranty info, and then they have a nice paragraph or two about the knife itself and all the things that I just mentioned, so you can pause that and read it if you want to. But really nice information they provide on all their knives. I appreciate that very much about Spyderco. So let's go ahead and get some vital signs on the Kapara right here. This is a full-size knife coming in with a 3.6-inch blade. You get 3.5 full inches of cutting length. Back to the pivot, you're looking at about 4.1 inches. Overall, you're at about 8.3, 8.4 inches right there. Your handles are going to be coming in the 4.6, 4.7-inch region right there. And with that forward choil protruding, you get about 4 3/4 of overall grip area. It is a full-size knife for full-size hands. The nice thing about this full-size knife is that it features a thin blade stock at 118 thousandths. By comparison, these paramilitary series comes in at 145 thousandths. The handle here at its widest point is at exactly 1/2 inch, and notice that these are 3D contoured carbon fiber scales that taper out at the edges, so the widest point is 1/2 inch, so it carries quite slim in the pocket. I'll go ahead and bring out the scale. This knife features skeletonized stainless steel liners, and it keeps the weight to a nice 3.32 ounces, which is well below the 1-to-1 ratio that I look for and really like to see on a knife for the blade inches to weight in ounces ratio right there. I really appreciate that. Let's break this knife down anatomically. Up front is a full flat ground blade done in S30V. Yes, that is S30V. Some people are going to let out a big sigh and say, oh, I will never buy that piece of junk because it has S30V. S30V is a great steel, people. It is an excellent cutlery steel. It was literally designed for cutlery, and it has been tested and proven in the thousands or millions of knives that Spyderco has made in S30V. I have no complaints that this one is in S30V. Given a nice edge, which this one most certainly has from the factory, S30V will last a long time and is easily resharpened, so happy to see that. The custom model features this unique blade shape. You can see it has a swooping design right here that actually makes it quite comfortable for the over-the-top grip where you can draw cut like that. I really like that. I open packages this way. I open a lot of things with this grip, and so it's extremely comfortable ergonomically, and the finger rests nicely on there. You can also use the thumb if necessary. Again, something very nice for food prep, which is what this knife was designed for. The upswept area of the blade allows you to draw this along a cutting board and prepare your food if you need to. The thin blade stock tapers out to the tip, so you have a nice thin tip. It would make a nice filleting knife if you needed that function as well. Very nice to see that the Taichung factory has knocked down some of the corners on this. They are really known for having sharp corners on all their steel edges. Here around the spidey hole and on the edges of the blade. It is not sharp in their typical fashion, so I like to see that. They are learning, they are evolving. You'll notice that there is no jimping along the spine of the blade. That is on purpose. Alistair did not want to have any jimping, as that would get food stuck in it. That was actually his, those are his words, and he mentioned that to me. I spoke to him through Instagram, and he mentioned that no jimping along here and none here, but you don't need it because this knife is very ergonomic. Notice how my hand fits, my index finger rests right here, the thumb right here. Just with this grip alone, you have extreme control over the knife, and then the rest of the hand fits quite nicely. So really no need for jimping, in my opinion. Moving back to the pivot, this thing runs on phosphor bronze washers. You can see they are quite robust and thick phosphor bronze washers. I think they may be bigger than the ones in the paramilitary series. As a matter of fact, I have not even brought out these knives for a size comparison. I do apologize about that. Here is a size comparison with the Paramilitary 2 and the Para 3. I want to go ahead and get these guys really nicely lined up so you can actually see that the Kapara here is bigger than both. It is even bigger than the Paramilitary 2. But what you can see is you get a huge blade packed into a small handle. It has a smaller handle than the Para 2, a bigger blade than the Para 2, and a thinner overall profile. Now these are scales that I got from my pal Aramis Akhmedov. I'll leave a link down below. I always get asked where to get these scales. But you will see that this is a full-size knife indeed. I was talking about the pivot here. It features some phosphor bronze washers. I can't really tell looking at the my edition right there. Any case, the action is very smooth. Straight out of the box, it certainly needs some breaking in. It doesn't really fling shut super easily, and the action is a bit stiff. The stiffness on the lock bar is a little bit high. I'm going to go ahead and take the time to mention that this is indeed a compression lock knife. Spyderco's patented compression lock has been utilized here to great effect. I really like the compression lock because it's a very strong lock, but it's also very fun, and it's very safe. It's also rather ambidextrous. Really, if you're a left-handed person, you can use it all right. I'm not very left-handed at all, and so I'm not going to do it. Speaking of being ambidextrous, this handle is indeed ambidextrous. You have a reversible tip-up carry pocket clip positioning, so it is somewhat lefty-friendly if you're okay actuating the compression lock as a lefty. Let's go ahead and move back and talk about these handles done in this beautifully contoured carbon fiber, 3D milled, 3D contoured, nicely rounded over the top of the handle right here, and beautifully chatoyant or glistening. It's a very nice effect that this carbon fiber has. It's full thickness scales, none of the fake carbon fiber that we've seen on some other models. It features full length stainless steel liners right here that are skeletonized, at least on the presentation side. Yes, the presentation side, and indeed there's a hole right there in the lock side that have been skeletonized to keep that weight down. I don't know if you're going to be able to see inside there at all to appreciate that, but and a very nice red G10 backspacer. I think it's cool that they've included that design element and carried it over from the custom. His custom knives feature that. Very nice contrast, and it's a pretty color. I like that. It's subdued. It's not just a bright fire engine red. It's more of a darker red. This features also the wire style clip. This is my favorite of the Spyderco clips, and it just functions beautifully. You have to make sure that these screws are tightened down all the way, as there are some pivots. I will mention that this handle is held together by 3 separate pivots that are all keyed, and so they're in the shape of a D, and you have to slide them through the frame just so, and they all lock into place the same way every time. Our friend Rob at the Apostle P will appreciate that very much. So what do I think of this knife initially? Excellent ergonomics, amazing blade, very nice construction, phosphor bronze washers, S30V carbon fiber. I didn't mention the custom titanium pivot hardware. I believe it's titanium, it could be steel, but the unique look is very special. The deep carry clip, the 3D contoured scales, the red carbon fiber, and the low weight, all of these things mean that this knife may be one of the best releases of the year, and maybe one of the best Spydercos ever. I'm going to carry this for a few weeks and get back to you with a final diagnosis, but I'm a huge fan initially. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Go ahead and click like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Dr. Frunkey, and take care.